Well, good morning and welcome to Stroke of Genius Podcast Survivor Experience. If I get a real special guest for you, it is Karina Seda, and she's a life coach specializing in stroke survivors. And I'm going to bring her on. We only got 30 minutes together, so bring her on right now. Well, good morning, Karina.
Good morning and good afternoon as well.
Yeah, really depends on what part of the world you're in, but welcome. Right now we have Jamie Parrish from the United Kingdom is the first one in the house. There's actually several people out there. So please put the state of country you're in right now and coming from watching the show. But Jamie, thank you for being at this good to see you. So say it, that's Jamie. We also have Sherry Patterson from Niagara Falls in the house. Corinna. We're gonna, this really, I'm gonna break up this podcast into two sections. And one, I want to be, I want to call them credentials, but it's a reason why you're a, a coach, a life coach, specializing in stroke survivors. And that's because you had strokes. Let's talk the first part of the show. Let's talk a little about that. Tell me about your stroke. You had your stroke at a super young age, right?
Yes, first of all, I want to say hi to everyone who is connecting with us today. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending of where you are located. And pretty much, first thing, yes, I experienced a stroke back in 2008, where I found myself at in young age, 15 years old is something very unusual in this stroke journey or in the stroke scenario as well. A lot of people expect things to happen like when we are older, right? And it's very important to share with the community that nowadays things can happen at any age. So we need to prepare ourselves and be aware of. And if we have the opportunity, it is very important for us to prevent, to move away from having a stroke. That is a great opportunity. So that is one of my message as well as a young stroke survivor. In my case, I experienced a hemorrhagic stroke back then. It was very, as I mentioned before, very uh, something that we do not expect at that time. I was in high school back then. I remember that I had the opportunity to participate in a what they call a vocational school is where young teenagers have the opportunity to start a career. And back then I chose to prepare myself to be a paramedic. I remember they have a title that workshop as medical emergencies. So we were training ourselves to become a paramedic. But things happen at young age where I have this opportunity to embrace a second chance at life. Long story short, in the event, in the stroke, right? A lot of things happen in those few seconds where in my case, I was gone twice. They brought me back, right? And now having this opportunity to help other people. And I know that we are going to talk about it deeper of how things look like now, but few things that I would love to share with any young stroke survivors is that there are possibilities. I know that a lot of time, one of the things we experience, we do not expect are things, we do not expect things to happen. And For some, there is no hope. We are going to stay like that. That could be in a wheelchair, that could be on bed, that could be, depending of our experience as a stroke survivors. But one of the things I would love to share with any young stroke survivors is that there is more. There is hope, there are possibilities for us to keep growing and becoming independent after a stroke. So that is a little bit about my story. Just to recap, I might was a hemorrhagic stroke, and I have this opportunity to enhance and embrace a second chance at life, now being able to help others.
Yeah, your tagline of your company, of your coaching company, is living without limits. That's the name of your company. I mean, that really is what you're trying to do. Is you're trying to get people like me and people like others out there start living without limits. Stroke,
Yes.
stroke ends up putting a ceiling on you, trying to put a ceiling on you. And if I'm hearing what you're saying, we can live with the limits.
Hmm. So let me repeat that. Like, you're saying that we may
Well,
live with
stroke ends up kind of taking away your ambition. Taking away your limits you. And your
limits.
coaching is really focused on getting us and other survivors out there to live without limits.
Yes, yes, that is correct. I wanted, to double check as well. It's very important for us um, to share that message, because the truth is that, as I mentioned in my stroke journey, we face a lot of things, a lot of challenges in the journey. It could be people telling us, "You're going to stay like that," or "You are walking with a cane. Why don't you stay like that?" Or, we reach different level of independence. Now, it is very important as well to share, Aaron, that we have a choice. We are the one who say, "I can do more. I did not born like this. I want to pursue more. I want my independence." That willingness is one of the first things in our journey. And to be honest, that is one of the reasons why I choose to help others. Even though after I reached my independence and after all these challenges, I found myself finishing my career. I went back to school, but first of all, going back to the story, when it happened was around May, around summer 2008, where it, I wasn't going back to school, right, for 11th grade back then. Um, i prove the contrary, right? Things what is possible after a stroke. So went back to school, finished high school, and kept going as well. I finished my bachelor degree until reaching another level of independence. Working, and to be honest, I reached my independence and reached my desired goals back then, as well. I finished. But again, keep doing more, keep pursuing, because I found myself with that desire of helping other in another level. Like, we can do more. And that is one of the things I share a lot in Living Without Limits with Karina Seda, being able to live in our fullest potential. And we are able to decide that if we really want our independence and that level as well. And pretty much after I reached all the goals and find myself like, I can do more. There is still something in this second chance at life that I am able to do, right? So I follow that as well. Now, being able to certify myself first as a health and life coach. And to be honest, Aaron, nowadays I am helping survivors and family members to create a future filled with purpose, hope, and resilience.
Wow.
Every day I am empowering survivors and their family members reclaim their independence, discover purpose, and live an extraordinary life.
Wow, that exciting, I tell you, that's exciting because so many times we don't think that's possible as a stroke survivor. So I appreciate you doing that. Now, you're 15 years old, you go through stroke, and I want people out there to realize how much he's emphasizing helping not just the stroke survivor, but the family members. And my goal is to write a book this year called The Ripple Effect of Stroke. And it's not just us as stroke survivors, it's a my wife is a stroke survivor, type of stroke survivor. My family is a stroke survivor in a way because they have to deal with us and they have to take care of us. So I appreciate it, including the family in your coaching service. But I'm curious now, how does your coaching address the specific needs of the stroke survivor and the individuals who are experiencing a life altering change? How do you do that?
Great question. So let me share how everything begins, right? How living without limits with Karina Seda born. So definitely, my own experience was the chaos, right? My stroke journey caused me to reevaluate my priorities and the possibilities that lay ahead. To be honest, through my own journey, healing and transformation, I discovered the power of resilience and the capacity for personal growth. Those things are very, very important. So I was very motivated by my own experience and I was inspired to create a platform where I could share my knowledge, insights, and strategies to help others overcome adversity. As I mentioned before, my expertise and people know me as the stroke journey expert, but we are and keep growing. We are helping individuals after a life altering event as well find their purpose, their mission, and create that resilience is very important. So that is why and how living without limits with Karina Seda born where I am able to empower individuals to break free from self imposed limitations so that they are able to create a life with hope, resilience, and that support as well that we all need, right? The purpose. Finding that purpose is very important.
Yeah, you do. It's funny, Karina, you said something. I was, my stroke life was impacted beyond, I really made me realize I could do something. It was by global business celebrity Jeff Hazeland. And you quoted him exactly. And he says, stop listening to self imposed limitations. And that is the key to success is learn to stop listening. I know so many stroke survivors out there that they're limited. They're stuck. So what advice can you give to stroke survivors that are stuck?
That is a great question. So one of the things, and for myself, I am going to speak right for personally as well because I found myself stuck in different ways. We have different stages, and being able to master each one is very important. It's one of the things we go through with the right support, right, the right system, and accountability is important. So the first thing is to look for support and for us personally as I will say like accept because I have to accept that we need help. We need support. That is one of the things that as survivors, one of the things we are warriors, right? But I go deeper to share that we are angels in this world with a mission to accomplish. It's something more. It's something deeper, where we need to work. And first, that is why we share find that purpose. But our mission as a stroke survivors is very, very meaningful. And I know that you asked this question before, Aaron, and it's how. Here is how we specialize as well the services for stroke survivors. Pretty much our services are especially tailored to meet the unique needs of stroke survivors and individuals facing a life-altering event, because we understand the physical, emotional, and mental challenges we encounter towards the journey. Pretty much, that is one of the things as well. So definitely, to put things simple, the first thing is to acknowledge, right? We need support. We need that support. I know we are strong, we are warriors, but there is still things we need to work towards, our journey, so that you are able to overcome those obstacles, those challenges, so that you're able to live the mission you have in this world.
Yeah, you mentioned something that's kind of unique, and that's so many of us stroke survivors. We don't think we have potential. We don't think we have because stroke lies to us. My experience, stroke lies to us. Look what I'm doing. Look what you're doing. Why is there some stroke survivors have seemed to go from stroke survivor to living without limits to a stroke thriver? And it's a choice, right? I mean, really, we make a choice to become a thriver.
Yes, yes, I think that that is where, and one of the reasons, we are here, like answering one question to the other one, where that is the why we need that accountability partner, and that is why health coaches, life coaches are very crucial nowadays for us as humans, and more for us as survivors, having the right guidance, the right support, and the system is very, very essential for several reasons. It's very important, that support, that accountability. So we first, and here is one of the things, my job as a coach, right? Make sure as well that helping and supporting individuals navigate the journey, so they are able to face, navigate their new circumstances with confidence and purpose. That confidence is very important, and that is created towards our work together as well.
Yeah, you talked about. No, I back up a minute. You talked about. I found it kind of difficult, and still do, but we need help. We need support, and that really is critical to her. I personally, we have a stroke and we think, oh, we can handle this. Well, no, we need the support critical to have support. And, I just amazed. You and I talked about sport earlier in the green room. At 15 years old, you were in high school. And I remember something is taken and you're talking about sport. Something is that you told me about your fellow classmates would carry you to your other classrooms. That is the epitome of what sport is. Not,
Yes.
how great is that?
Yes, and the truth is, I don't know how many of you relate to this. That in some of the cases, us as survivors, we don't want it. With our first reaction is like, "I am okay, I can do it," right? And that is very important as well. One of the things we teach as well, for the caregiver. Again, everything depends, or we need to consider factors, different factors here. Okay, we cannot put one concept to everything. We need to adjust, and this is why we tolerate our services to their needs. We need to see different factors, so to adjust, and it is a benefit and for the well-being for the survivor, for their family members. And again, we are a team working together towards your independence, towards your goal. So for that support at the beginning, I was, and I remember this coming back right now, where some of the cases people want to help me because I started going back to school with an Emmy Walker. Then I start walking with a cane. Then, I start with a brace and things like that. But in the meantime, where in high school, sometimes we have like 10 minutes to go one room to the other
Yeah.
and things like that, right? Let's have some help here. We have time. Time is a factor. That is another topic. But that receiving and being us to be open to for that support is one of the first steps that go inside that acceptance phase. I know that a lot of people had heard like acceptance, and for in some of the cases we have take that concept in the wrong way. But I mean with this, like accept I experienced a stroke. Accept some people define stroke survivor as victims. This is something we need to work around because we are not a victim. We experience a stroke. You are a warrior. You are an angel in this world with a mission to accomplish. You have something to do that is special, is unique, and we need to embrace that as well. You are a beautiful human being here on earth with a special mission to accomplish. So that is something as well that where we need to work around, and being able in the support aspect receive that support. We need support, but we also as a stroke survivors need to do the work. It is not something like let's sit here in the sofa, let's watch TV all day, and things are going to happen. Make sense? So there are a few things we need to tolerate, to talk, to build the muscle, so that you are able to work in your second mission and life. Make sense?
Of total. In fact, I knew many stroke survivors who sit there on the couch, so to speak, waiting for something to change. It never will. Their life will never change. The only time, and I'm going to repeat what you said, the only time it's going to change when we decide to change it, we do the work. It would do, I can remember, Corinne, I was faced, I had a mentor when I first started live streaming. His name was Roland Takaoka. And he said, why don't you start a podcast? I said, well, I can't start a podcast. Here comes the self-imposed limit. I can't start a podcast because I have a speech deficit. He said, oh no, your speech deficit actually may become your brand. People will recognize you because of the way you speak. And here I am from that one decision impacting hundreds of thousands of lives around the world, telling them there's hope. But to just what your company name is, I took the limit off because there was a self-imposed limitation I have. So let's say there's somebody, I want to hear it again. You're very inspiring. But there's somebody out there right now that has self-imposed limits. What's the steps they take or can take today to get themselves unstuck?
The first step, well, one of the things, or first step in the process is to the first step on my end is to take that action, book that appointment to if you already decide I want to become independent, I want my life back, I want to reach my fullest potential. Booking an appointment, for some people it is like, um we book that appointment to have that consultation and explore the possibilities for yourself, and make sure as well that you want it, right? You desire your independence is very important. That is the first step. To reach out is the first tiny step towards becoming independent or start working, towards that stock. I want more, right? So that would be the first step.
Yeah, I think I sound so silly when I hear the basic one I hear say it, but it starts with the decision saying I want to get better. I want to my independence back. I knew many stroke survivors that don't do that, that sit there waiting and never make that decision of saying, I want to be independent. I want my life back. I want to live without limits. And it's possible. And someone like you, and I'm a topic coach, I'm not certified, not trained, but I'm telling you, I took the lumps off. Look at me now. You and I are on my podcast. It's great. So I think serving other stroke survivors is key. Now I'm curious if someone wants to. I'm going to put the links to your website in the description video. Do you have a free consultation? If someone wants to, do they call you? Or they reach out to you an email? What's the best way?
Yes, so the best way would be in the website. It is on my website is lwlwks.com. That is spelled like Larry William Kilo Sam.com. That is the abbreviation from Living Without Limits with Karina Seda, and they are able first to read a little bit about everything, right? And also to book an appointment with myself, with my team, so we can, start from there. Is everything start with that conversation, and we can explore options and possibilities as well. There is a lot of resources for us and for our family members as well. One of the things we do in the different programs, because we are growing and helping other people, it is supporting the family member who is assisting the survivor. It is very important for myself to support them to understand how to navigate the journey, so they are able to understand the survivor point of view. And us as survivors, it is very important as well to understand, so the caregiver world as well, because even though we are in the same journey, we have different concepts, we have different point of view, that as soon as we align them and work as a team, makes a beautiful impact in our journey to become independent after a stroke.
So independence really starts the mindset. Your mind actually, I've heard this said, now see if it resonates with you. Where your mind goes, your body follows. And, it's true. So the first challenge to you today out there, audience, change your mindset. Change your mindset. Your body will follow. Don't worry about walking if it's a witch like me. Start, like Karina said, start with your mindset. With change. I want my life back. And Karina, I'll be honest with you. I want my life back. I do. I want my life back. And I think it's great what you're doing. Well, I told you it's 30 minutes to go by quick. And too quick. If it's okay, I'll have you back on probably next 3 weeks, next month or something. Yeah, have you back. Is there any
Sounds
final words that you? Let me tell you, there's a newer stroke survivor somewhere out there. What advice would you give a new stroke survivor in closing?
great question. First, one of the things is that there is more, right? There are possibilities. For myself, our possibilities are endless. Is one of the things. But I also would love to share and end my part with a quick question. A quick question for myself that, as I mentioned in my journey, looking and seeing the opportunity to see my priority. So the question for you all as family members helping survivors, or survivors working towards their recovery, their independence, ask yourself, what are your priorities? And I end with that.
Wow, that is Corinna. Thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate it. I'm sure everybody enjoyed it. And again, people, I'm going to be posting in Second Chance Stroke Survivors, her website, but also in the link in the description of this video. I'm going to be putting a link to her website. But I want to remind you to please subscribe to Stroke TV Media on YouTube. And Corinna, I want to thank you so much for being here. Can't wait to have you on again next month. We're going to do it again. But we want to all search challenge day, people. Look at your mindset. Live without limits is possible. Living without limits is actually possible. Corinna, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me here.
All right.
Set me on